Hey y'all, what's up? Nah, I don't like that. Y'all, happy Mother's Day. I'm officially starting my Mother's Day vlog. Quenisha's getting her mom's Mother's Day
stuff together. Okay, look at this. But check out the cup, y'all. It says, "Be still and know that I am God." Or that's the whole verse, but it's not on the cup. But I like that verse. So
Okay. Love it.
Love that.
Y'all look a mess. I'm finna go start getting ready for church. Yeah, oh my God. And I'll be back with y'all later. Okay, y'all. We're back. We just made it to church. Don't mind me down in the seat because we finna get to church. Anyways, so we just made it to church. About to go inside. I was going to my mom and them, but they taking too long. So, okay, y'all. So we just got out of church. My baby just he just showed out today, but he usually this is like usually his nap time. So I mean, I'm not making excuses for him or anything, but it's his nap time and he gets real spicy when he don't take a nap, like literally every time. So yeah, so right now we're just headed home, about to change clothes and see what we're gonna get into today. We're supposed to be going to a barbecue or a dinner. So that's all we have in our plans really for today. Nothing much, just gonna chill out and hopefully have some fun and enjoy the rest of our day. What's up? So we finally got changed and dressed. Now we're headed to the barbecue, whatever. I can't think of the name of it, but at least that's what it is. Somebody just woke up, so they have a slight attitude. Drew, tell him hey. Okay. Well, I guess he don't want to speak right now. Anyway, it's him. So we're headed to Hub to go eat. We probably just gonna grab some food and eat, go back to the house. I don't know. I'm really not in the best mood today, honestly. I don't know, like, my mood has been really down today. I probably cried like 85 times. Probably, my face looks like it's crazy because I don't know, today is like just an emotional day for me. It was a very emotional week. So I'm just trying to, at least enjoy my day with my baby and go see my family, eat and stuff. I could probably go see my granny, or if not, I'll call her in just a second. I told you happy Mother's Day too. Thank you, Carl.
Hey, when you fell out, I put that bread pudding on. Come on.
And he probably still sleeping.
Bread pudding, taste it.
Okay, so my Mother's Day, yeah, I kind of cut it a little short. We really, like I said, like we really didn't have much planned. We went to eat you know, with my parents and my dad's side of the family. So, being it, you know, that the footage wasn't that long, I decided to take the video on a different route, answer a few questions, and, you know, give my point of view, motherhood. Finally back with a YouTube video. This is gonna be my first one back in a while. I'm super excited to be back vlogging and bringing you guys all the latest updates in my life. Well, if you guys know or don't know, I have a son now. His name is Jelani. He turned 1 in February, so I'm super excited to, you know, incorporate him in my videos now. I got a little buddy to do my videos with. And also, I'm going to be answering a few questions about motherhood. My assistant here is going to be asking me some questions about motherhood and things like that. So, I'm ready to be back recording. And, yeah.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay, so you know you haven't been back in a while. I'm pretty sure the viewers would like to hear Drew's birth story, so...
Okay, so I had probably one of the craziest birth stories that I could probably think of. So it was literally the day of my baby shower. I had my baby the day of my baby shower. So go back, reverse. I probably had got up at about originally probably like 5 something. Had to be like 5:30ish. Because I was going to go to work that day. I work from home, so I was still going to clock in to work, you know, go to work. So, when I initially get up, I'm like, did I pee on myself? Like, did I pee in the bed? I'm like, I couldn't pee in the bed. But also, I'm like, I don't know, because, like, being pregnant is, you know, you're pregnant, like, you be sneezing and stuff. Like, I might have sneezed in my sleep, kind of peed on myself a little bit. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go take a shower, change my clothes, and then I just lay back down until it's time for me to go to work. So I'm literally at work, and I just started hurting. Like, clocked in at 7 o'clock. I started hurting so bad. So I'm like, okay. So I'm literally on a call, and I probably was at work for like less than 30 minutes. So when I'm on the call, I'm like, okay, something don't feel right. So I messaged my supervisor. I'm like, hey, I'm about to transfer this call because I cannot, you know, I gotta log up this phone. Okay. So I log off the phone, and then from there, I'm like calling and texting my friends, like, girl, I think I'm finna have this baby. But I was joking. Like, I never knew. Like, I didn't know I was finna have that baby for real. Okay. So, from there, one of my friends suggested that I go get in the tub in some hot water. So, I'm sitting in the tub. Like, I'm just in the tub. And the water just rolling over, and the water just crying, and I'm hurting really bad. So I start, I'm like, okay, I gotta get up. So I get out the tub. I'm just walking around the house. I'm literally like punching the wall, hitting the floor. Like, I'm literally upsetting everybody in the house, basically. So it gets to the point where literally everybody left the house. Like, nobody's at the house but my mom and Carly. Carly is my god sister. So, mind you, Carly's like 3'4". So from there, I'm like, no, like, my mom like, I'm gonna call the doctor or whatever. So she calls the hospital, and the lady's like, take 2 Advil. Was it Advil or Aleve? Either way. She's like, yeah, take 2 Advil, Aleve, whatever. And if you don't feel good in about an hour, just come in. So my mama gave me the 2 pills. Literally, as soon as I swallowed them, I was running to the bathroom. So I ran to the bathroom and I threw them up. So I'm like, ooh. I'm like, Mama, I'm just hurting so bad. She was like, well, I'm gonna call your sister. Your sister's gonna take you to the hospital. So I'm like, okay, if I hurry up and get to the hospital, then they could probably stop my contractions. Mind you, I didn't even know I was having contractions. But in my mind, I'm like, ooh, if I go to the hospital, like, if I hurry up and get to the hospital, they can stop the pain. I can just get ready to go to the baby shower. So, at this point, my mom was getting my sister on the phone. I was going in the back to change my clothes. So I get to the back room. I had my shirt on, but I'm like, ooh, I gotta poop. So I go sit on the toilet and I literally like pushed one time. And like I pushed and I literally, like, the baby's head was like right there. So I'm like, what? So then I started screaming, I'm yelling. I'm like, Mom, I can feel this baby. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah. So my sister comes in the house. She went in the house. They got me to the couch and laid me on the couch. And at that moment, I never been more terrified in my life. Because I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have this baby. Like, this baby's right here. Like, huh? At this house? Nobody here can deliver no baby. So, my mama called the ambulance. She got the ambulance on the phone. She's like, hello. She's like, I need you to get the ambulance here. She's having a baby. And it's funny now. But in the midst of it, it wasn't funny. So, the ambulance is telling me not to push or telling her to keep me calm. So, but my mom was yelling. So I'm like, oh my God, like, it's just so much going on. And so I literally tried to calm down for like 2 minutes. That was the most I could do. And then my baby basically was forcing himself out. So I'm like, no. So I'm like, oh, Mom, please don't let it happen to me or my baby. Because I was terrified. So, my mom was like on the ambulance, like on the phone with the operator, telling her like, you need to hurry up and get them here, like you need to get them here fast. And from there, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna push. I'm like, I can't help it, like I'm gonna push. So I'm like, okay, Mom, I'm gonna push. So I push. She was like, stop pushing. I'm like, I can't. So then I pushed like one more time, and then he just popped out. So after that, like he just really just came out, and my mama laid him on my chest, and we just like lay there until the ambulance finally arrived. And once the ambulance got there, you know, they got me in the back of the ambulance, and like basically my family like just kind of trailed them over to the hospital. And like while we were in the back of the ambulance, you know, the lady was just talking to me, and she was like, oh, you know, I never, like, this like was her first experience. I'm like, yeah, this is my first experience too. So she's like, did my placenta come out? I'm like, no, like when the baby came out. So she was like, okay, don't be nervous. She was like, but she said, you're gonna have to push it out. I'm like, no, no, I'm not. I'm not doing it. She was like, yeah. She's like, the next time you feel like a pain or like a contraction, she was like, go ahead and push. I'm like, okay. So I had the next contraction, and then I pushed, and then it came out. She was like, that was my first time doing that. I'm like, yeah, you know, like, I'm scared. I'm like, I'm gonna have to push this placenta in this thing. So then she get me taken care of. Once we get to the hospital, it was literally like a movie scene. Like all the nurses and the doctor was like standing at the door just waiting. I was staying in the hospital for a couple of days. They monitored us, and once he gained a little weight, we were good to go home. And now I have a greedy, healthy little boy. Yes.
What is your deepest fear as a parent?
My deepest fear as a parent, for myself, I feel like my deepest fear as a parent is feeling like, I don't know, like feeling like I'm failing as a parent. That's like my deepest fear, is failing as a parent. Like, I never want to feel like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do for my child. Although I know that I am, it's just like sometimes, like, you know, I question myself, like, am I doing enough, or is what I'm doing right? Like, you know, so that's probably my biggest fear for myself, is being a failure as a parent. My biggest fear for him is, I don't know, I guess, I don't know how to like word what I'm gonna say. My biggest fear is, I don't want my baby to feel like that he is not enough and that he's not good enough as a person. Like, that's my biggest fear for him. Like, I don't ever want him to feel like that, and like, you know, that he's not enough and that he's not making me proud. Like, I don't ever want him to feel like that. So I guess that would be my biggest fear.
And did becoming a parent feel real for you? Like, when you like, dang, I'm really having a baby, or like, I'm really a mom?
Ooh. Okay, when it finally hit me, like, dang, I'm pregnant, I was so sick one day, like, so sick. I was on the verge. I feel like I was gonna die. Like,
What?
yes, I was throwing up. I was like overheating, and I think, well, I know I was still in Texas, so I think that night I probably went to like the ER. But I was so scared because I'm like, okay, I can't really call nobody. Like, they ain't my friends, no. But I feel like if I call them, then they're gonna be panicking. Then I feel like somebody will tell my mama, because I hadn't told my mama I was pregnant yet. So that was like really scary. And also, while I was pregnant, like, when it was real to me was the day I had my car wreck. I had never been that scared in my life, because the only thing I kept thinking about was, I can't feel my baby moving. Like, I just hit this car, my airbag came out. I know for sure I hit my stomach, because like of the way everything was positioned in the car. And I literally like climbed across the seat, across the thing. And when I laid on the ground, like when I finally like made it to the other side of the road, I'm just like, I can't feel my baby moving. Like, I can't feel myself, I can't feel him. And it was just like really panicky. Like, that was like a very real moment for me, because I'm like, I could lose my baby. Like, I could really, like, something could really be wrong with me. Like, well, forget me, something could really be wrong with my baby. So that was like a very real moment for me.
Like, maternal instinct kicked in.
Yeah.
Like, I hope my baby better be okay.
Yeah, like, yeah, my baby better be okay. And then at the hospital, they just made it worse. Like, they just made it worse. The lady kept telling me, oh, she couldn't find, like, his heartbeat. They didn't have the sonogram machine. Like, oh, we can't look at the sonogram machine. So I'm like, no, you got to get me out of here. Like, you got to get me out. I got to go somewhere else to see my baby. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm not satisfied with that. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So they ended up putting me in the back of the ambulance, and they took me to, they sent me to Forest General. They took me to Forest General, and I ended up getting an ultrasound done, and he was fine. He was smiling in his ultrasound. So that turned out to be good, but that was like a very surreal moment for me.
Okay, next question. Like, in some circumstances, do you ever find yourself like becoming your mom?
Oh. In some circumstances, I do feel like it. Like,
give me an example.
When I'm very irritated, like, you know, so so sometimes I feel like if I get to yelling and stuff, or like, you know, certain stuff, or I'm trying to think of a good example. I don't know, because he's still little, like, so just like a lot of yelling, like,
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm just yelling like my mama, like, stop yelling. So it's like that's like probably the best example I got, because he's still little. But I guess like as he get older, then that's something I would like try to be cautious of, like,
Yeah.
you know, try to be more aware of, like, am I being my mama? Like, you know.
Okay.
That was a good question, girl. That was a good question.
Next question. What's your favorite thing about being a mom?
My favorite thing about being a mom is my baby. Like, he's just so cool. I just love like having, you know, somebody to what's the phrase I'm looking for? Like, I just love like when he just runs up to me or like comes to me like and just embraces me, like, you know, that makes me feel like accomplished, like, okay, like my baby love me, like he know who I am. And like, I'm gonna cry. Like that just really like melts my heart. Like anytime I like when I come to the house, or you know, sometimes he act fun of me, but for the most part, like, you know, like if he see me, he smile, like, you know, he, you know, like sometimes he'll like come up to me, like rub his head on my leg and stuff like that. Like that's probably like the best thing about being a mom to me, like being embraced and being loved, and like knowing that he know that I love him, like, you know, showing him, like showing his little emotions to me and stuff. You know, just like anytime he happy, that just makes me happy. Like that's probably like the best part about being a mom to me.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah, I love my baby. That was it. Okay. That was good. That was some good. Since this is my second Mother's Day, this year I wanted to do something special, something a little different, for the moms. So, I asked some ladies on my social media platforms to, you know, send in some Mother's Day videos, some encouraging words, and, you know, just celebrating the moms, you know, giving us some recognition, letting them know that all your hard work and sacrifices, they are worth it.
Happy Mother's Day. I love my mom because if it wasn't for her, I'd probably be on the side of the street begging for change. And she also made sure that even though I was spoiled, I'm also independent. So, kudos to her. And she always told me to keep my best foot forward and don't let nobody make a fool out of you. So, that's why I like my mom. And I love her. Happy Mother's Day. Say happy Mother's Day.
I love my mom because she is the best mama in the world. And whatever I want, she give me. I can call my mama for the smallest inconvenience.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. I love my mom because she takes care of us. She makes sure we have a house, a roof over our head, and we have running water, we have food and things we need, not wants. She makes sure we have wants and needs, and if we ask for certain things, she'll give it to us. And she's caring, loving, and she goes out and works really, really hard for us.
She takes care of us, and she makes sure, like, if one of us get hurt really badly, even if he doesn't want to pay the bill, she will pay that bill off.
So I don't know if you consider this like tips or advice or anything, but some things that I did, some things that I did like with Jace, especially when he was a baby, I did not use like baby talk, like the whole whatever, like I use regular words, and that's why his vocabulary is strong. So I suggest don't use baby talk. Another thing, I made sure he was full of affirmations. I still do it to this day. I let him know he's smart. I let him know he's courageous. I let him know, and I let him understand that he is a black little boy. And I always tell him I love him and how much I care for him. I show him, and I make sure he understands that.
Mommy.
Being a mother is so deserving. If I could give any advice to mothers, I would say love on your kids. Support them, listen to them. Let them have a voice. Protect them, encourage them, make them smile, take your kids on dates, remind them how awesome they are.